People are, well, rather stupid. We're all flippin' idiots. We're guaranteeing our own demise. We are. When are we going to wake up, people? We won't be here for much longer unless we do something about it. But no, we're stupid. Yeah. And it ain't just our own demise that we're guaranteeing, no. It's wildlife. And in this video I want to talk about birds. Yeah, it seems a bit strange, politics, birds and what have you, but it is all relevant. Because if we don't look after the habitats of the birds and other creatures, well then quite frankly we're not going to look after ourselves, are we? No. And UK bird numbers, for instance, are crashing. They're plummeted, they have. And the government is poised to break its own targets. Whether it be intensive farming or you want to put down astroturf, all this stuff is damaging the habitats for wildlife. I know you can say, well, birds don't live in my grass. No. But other creatures do. Why is this relevant? Well, we'll get into that in a minute. And quite frankly, we are all to blame, including myself. I'm doing my bit, I must say, but, you know, for years and years and years, I haven't really paid much attention to it. I do now. Anyway, before we continue, please boot the old like button, and there will be a secret word at the end of this video. Yeah. Well, you could do something to help recover birds' numbers by installing, well, habitat for them. And feeding them, like we do here. They're greedy little buggers that they are. I just put that one out. I just realised the fat balls are all gone. You put them out yesterday. You can't see them at the moment, but this area here is, well, absolutely massive. Well, there's loads of them. And we've got a big variety of birds as well. We'll get into that in a moment. Well, we should be feeding them. We should provide them habitat. But, you know, some people say don't feed them in the summer, but you need to now. We need to feed them all year round. Seriously. Now, data shows that 48% of species declined between 2015 and 2020. And woodland birds are faring the worst. Now, one reason I find this interesting, you probably already know, we're doing a rewilding here, and we've noticed that our bird population, since we've been doing this rewilding campaign, has increased. I ain't got no figures for it, but I have to admit, there's a lot more birds than there were before. Because we're feeding them and providing them with habitat. You know, things like the birdhouses and stuff like that. They're scattered all around our land, you see. And also for the bats and that as well, which are also in decline. For the same reasons, pretty much. They all eat insects, you see. Anyway, we have seen a marked increase here. But everywhere else is depleted. Now, since the start, maybe they all moved here. Maybe that's what it is. But since the start of the pandemic, me and my dear Mrs. Caroline, well, we have built a lot of these old bird houses and bat boxes and stuff like that, and scattered around the land on various trees and stuff. And that one over there, all three of these have got birds in now, these little bird boxes over there. And plus the three new ones we put on the other side of the house as well, they've also got birds in already, which is amazing. And our TIE fighter, our Star Wars TIE fighter birdhouse, that has also got a bird in it now. It's got a little great tit in there. And oh, actually, that one there. The one there on the end there was actually from because people have been donating for our rewilding on the GoFundMe, which is linked down below if you want to contribute. And that was in memory of his little 3-year-old boy that died, which was very, very sad. But it's got birds in, you know. So they made a contribution, and you know, and a part of the tree for them as well, which is quite nice. Now the birds are starting to get active again. Now I can hear them. Well, we've also upped that feeding programme. Now we've got our feeding area here, and we've got no one on the other side of the house, but also we put various things up in the trees around the land as well, because we are aware that, you know, even where we are in France, their habitats and their food has depleted. It's not what it used to be. You know, it's not the problem like you got in the UK where everything's turning into concrete jungles. No. And everyone wants astroturf. The worst thing you can do for your land is put astroturf down. If you want ants, get astroturf. Lovely. Well, we need to provide them with food and habitat. And believe you me, like I said, they are greedy, flippin' little buggers. So you need to keep feeding them, and it's cheap anyway. I know we're struggling to feed ourselves at the moment, but if we don't look after the habitats and the wildlife and what have you, we're not going to look after ourselves. No, we're all connected. You see, I'm not talking about Avatar. No, you know that movie with the big living tree thing and stuff go to the roots. No, anyway. No. So we have seen a great increase of Hoopoes It's like, quite amazing looking creatures, they really are. And also great spotted woodpeckers, literally hair and banging against our flipping windows, waking us up in the morning. It's like they're trying to tell us it's time to get up. Well, it probably was, to be fair, but anyway. So yeah, woodpeckers, hoopoes, and other European birds such as great tits, blue tits, various insect-eating type birds with big long beaks, basically. I can't remember what the name is. I'm not a twitcher. No. I'm not Bill Hardy. You might think I look like him, but I'm not Bill Hardy, no. Well, statistics released by the UK government show that bird populations, they continue to decline in the long and short term. Now, in 2021, on average, the abundance of 130 breeding species was around 12% of what it was in 1970. Shouldn't it be increasing, not decreasing? Our population's increased, hasn't it? Because we've been getting jiggy with it. We've got to let them get jiggy with it too. We've got to provide them with a nice little a nice little place for them to live, so they can get jiggy with it. Yeah, and make more little birdies. That's what we need. More little birdies. Because everything is interconnected, you see. Well, it's all been caused really mostly by relatively steep declines in woodland and farmland. And birds, well, that's where they live, you see, not just in your back gardens. Although they can, and you can actually give them somewhere to live and also feed them, no matter what size garden you got. Every little helps, is what they say. Or if you're a Tory, very little helps. Well, there's a significant decrease though between 2015 and 2020. Of around 5%. It's crazy. And not 5, but 50%, sorry, between 2015 and 2020. It's halved. But why have these UK bird numbers declined? Now, to be fair, we've got a similar problem here in France. Okay, I'm rural France, it's not causing a problem here. But when you get into the towns and cities and stuff like have you, in the urban areas, you've got similar problems to what you've got in the UK. They're converting the land into areas that are not really habitable for birds to what they were before. Trees are getting chopped down, hedgerows are being removed, etc. And pesticides. Yes, they still use pesticides in France. Oh, okay, it's governed and what have you, but it's still happening. It's just that neonics are not as widely used, but they can still be used, killing off bee populations and other insects. Yeah. So, like I say, even here in France, we're using pesticides, what have you. But in the UK now, since a whole load of numpties put that cross in the wrong box, ripping the UK out of the European Union, who's really governing the use of pesticides now? You tell me. Nobody. Teresa Kofian, although she's rather a bit of a pest herself, maybe we need a Kofi side. That's what we need. Please, tell me when it's going to happen. Anyway, these pesticides are killing the insects the birds depend on to survive. And not just the bees that we depend on to survive, but the bees, we're goners. There's no way we can pollinate every single crop unless we're going to do everything in barns, in vertical planting, what have you. There has been a lot of investment in that, but there won't be enough to feed the world, no. Feed the world, there was a song, wasn't it? I remember that. Anyway, they don't have enough food. Period. Well, it's not just the food, but natural habitats have been decimated, with demands on housing depleting habitats, intensive farming, grubbing up hedgerows, has not helped either. Although France has the land mass, French farmers are replacing hedgerows with wire fencing, encompassing more fields into one. Getting rid of more habitat, you see, so they can use bigger machinery. Yeah, become more efficient, you see. Like I say, all in the name of efficiency. More money to be made. Probably because their monies have been squeezed somewhat because of energy costs and what have you. The cost of living crisis, everything is becoming more expensive on inputs and what have you for the farmers. So I understand that, but such a crying flippin' shame. And we need to wake up people, because if we don't do something about it now, it will be too late. Well, the problem isn't unique to the United Kingdom. And it's a direct result of a changing world, to be fair. and what we all really deem as important these days. Unfortunately, it's not really the place that we live. Unless you're talking about, you know, your new curtains in your lounge or something like that. Or your robo vacuum cleaner. So, you know, those kind of things. That's all really important, you see. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, I'm being patronising. But anyway. But you do need to wake up. And, you know that we're doing this rewilding here in France, where we're planting trees. We're planting lots of trees here. We're doing about 1,000 trees on 2 hectares of land. We're going to be planting up this field, on, as you can see a bit of in the back there, but also we've already started on the other side, which you've probably seen in other videos. And so far we've done around, I did count it, but I lost count, and I think it's around 430 odd trees that we're put in so far. And it is with the help of, you know, kind contributions that people on this channel have, you know, subscribers and what have you, and people have fallen upon the videos, have done. They've actually, you know, been really generous. Some people have been really, really generous, and we've been planting trees as a result, and it's working. It really is working. It's not just the trees; it's everything else that we're doing as well to support it. It's not good enough just to plant trees. We need to be providing other kinds of habitats. They need somewhere to live while these trees are growing, because obviously they're just like sticks at the moment in the ground. But you know what they say? You don't plant a tree for yourself, you plant trees for future generations. And it's true, you know. But instead, what are we doing? Chopping trees down. Just like they did in London. Masses and masses of trees got chopped down. All the time. And then we whinge and we whine about environmental protests, you know, people camping up in trees because they know they're about to get chopped down. This is madness, you know, don't you? This is absolute madness. If we don't do something about it, we're buggered. But you can help me do something about it if you want. If you want to make a contribution, and there's a GoFundMe link down below in the description. And for every tree that's planted, and for every birdhouse that we make, we will, on the birdhouses themselves, we'll put your name on, obviously, like I did with that one over there. But also, on the trees, I'll make signs to go with the tree. It could be your name, or it could be in memory of a loved one, maybe you lost a pet, or anything like that, you know? If you feel that you can't do it, you know, where you live in the United Kingdom, you know, you can afford to contribute towards a tree. No matter what size of contribution is, it all helps, and we note every single contribution. I've got a massive list, and I'm going through them. I've made loads of signs, and we've still got loads to make, obviously. But that every single tree or every single thing that we manage to put in, everybody will have you know, their name or whatever you like beside them. So within reason. I don't want an essay. No. So if you do make a contribution, don't forget to put what you want on your sign. Just, you know, a few words. 3-word slogan if you like, or just name or something like that. Because I was doing so many of them. Anyway, it's time for me to go, but I hope you can feel it in your hearts to help support this project, because it is really, really important, and we can't do it on our own because we're brassic. We have no money, literally. We might have a nice place to live, and we might have no mortgage and stuff like that, but we earn a pittance on this channel. I mean, an absolute pittance. Time for me to go. I'm running on again. Anyway, secret word. The secret word is, I think we're all flippin' tits. Tits we are. And birds. Great tits. I think we are the greatest tits of them all. So we are great tits. Yeah, leave that in the comments down below. Ta-ta. Digging this hole, a hole in the ground, so big and all around it was. There I was, digging it deep. It was flat on the bottom and the sides were steep.